put in the friendship model. Belongs to, this is what I did, and in the friendship model I say it belongs to user. And here's a cool thing, when it's no longer a convention, right? You're not having a friend model because it's the same as the user model. So you say class name user, okay? The long version of belongs to is actually like, class name, user, foreign key, user ID. But you can decide this, guys, right? Based on this name. So that's why you don't do it. Okay? Now here, there's no way Rails can guess with this friend point to user, so you have to tell it. It still can get that the foreign key is friend ID. That's why. So I don't need it. Is it clear? Ian? Is it clear? Alright, so I should update under user, right? Under user now I have to do has many. So user has many what? Friendships. If you delete a user, do you delete the friendship? Yeah, looks good. Now something I want to do more than that. I'm going to practice the ODB migrate. Practice in console first. And by the way, there's one file that I added to this project called erdconfig. I tell it to also include primary keys and foreign keys. And I use, this is a different notion. So it means when you run erd to generate the diagram now has a little bit more information. It's good to have the foreign key in here so I can point, hey, this friend ID is going to connect with this guy, right? This user ID is going to connect with this guy. If I don't do it, then it doesn't display anything under friendship and it's confusing.
You might have gone over this a few days ago before last week. What is FK?
Oh, foreign key and primary key. Yeah, no, thank you for asking that, really. We never really went through it. I just mentioned it for a table. I tried to draw the table out last time. Is that similar to Excel? You have 3 fields here, but the primary key is something that you can instantly get a record out from the table in the database. Okay, so you tend to do this, user find 5, ID 5, just go there. It's the fastest way, the primary key. And it's also used for the purpose of connecting a table with another table. So if I want this user table to connect with this table, I need to know what the primary key here is, and then I will connect that with my, my foreign key. So it's the other way around. So friendship here, a user row can have many friendship. So I'm going to do that with friend, user ID is the same as this primary key. Okay, foreign key is the same as primary key. Sort of foreign key from this table is the same as is compared to the primary key in another table. Alright, with Rails console, I have a few users already, a few beautiful users. So I just get the last one, and that's not very beautiful. I get the first one then. Did I generate some? Yeah, like this girl, right? And initially, if I do friendships, what do you get? Oh, come on, guys! It should be like 0, empty, simple. Yes? Friendships, because the user has many friendships, so there's no friendship. Yeah? One thing that, let's say, if I just create a friendship, what's going to happen? It will try to save it, but there's an error. It's like, this friendship is not valid. You cannot have this, like, incorrect friendship. So I'm going to try again. Hey, do it and then crash and let me know. Okay, this guy say, hey, you cannot have a friendship with a friend, without a friend. So that's nice. This belongs to is checking this required. All right. Then you might want to stand up. You look really sleepy. So I need to put in a friend ID here. So I'm gonna make this person, what is A name? I wanna make this person friend with my second user. This is B.name. So I'm gonna friend A, Jeannie, right? Jean with B, Evie. So naturally I say a.friendships.create and I pass in the friend. Now a lot of you are still not used to it. First, Ruby. This create takes no argument. Second, if it can take a hash. So this is optional. This is optional. That's why you don't see anything. But when it's not optional, you can put like, here you can put a friend ID here. But it's not enough, so why put friend ID when you can just put friend? So this is A friending with B, right? And of course you can say user is someone else, right? User is A, that's another column. But I don't need to do user here because I have a.friendships. The guy in a.friendships already have a user, this guy. Is that clear or not? Why so quiet?
Build it.
Could you ask something to sort of stay awake? Come on, Louis. Do you understand a.friendships?
Yeah.
Yeah? So A is, what is A?
The guy.
The guy, yeah, that's right, or the girl. But the A is a user. A.friendship. What do you get back?
Friends of the A.
Friends. So right now it's in just you get the friendships back. You can cheat by just saying you get friendships back, but it's an array. It's different. A is an object. A.friendships an array, but this is a special class when you can say create on it. A.friendship.create is similar to calling friendship.create, but with a user A. Please nod your head or shake your head so I know whether to proceed or not. Like, please don't show all these blank stares. It's really scary. This is the same as this, right? Okay? And now, it's important to see that because I'm working with a few models here. So let's say if you create a friendship from A to B, that is probably something that's very easy to read. Okay? That is very easy to read. Sometimes though, you want to start from a person A, and you say, start from A friendship, and I create a relationship with my friend B. Right? After a while, you may like this method better. Depends on your use case. Okay? So I choose one of them. I press enter. Now it works. Right? Insert a new row into the friendships table, where you have a user ID and a friend ID like this. Now I have a friend. Okay? I have a friend. So imagine in user, I want to have a method called my friends. Yeah? Because right now, Louis was saying, I want to get a list of friends, right? This is not going to work. So can I get someone to give it a try to get a list of friends? Yes, lawyer.
I was just gonna ask a question. If you do B.friendships right now, would it show A?
Fantastic question. Who can answer? Yes?
I think so.
Are you sure? Wow. Thank you for asking because all of you are wrong. This friendship is one way, guys. Just because you think you're my friend doesn't mean that I'm your friend.
So you didn't accept the friend request.
It's like that. When you look at the friendship, there's something called a user. This is the person who friends you. And the friend ID here is the person, the other person. So this friendship start from user, go to a friend. So it's like this. If I have a table, maybe Excel is easier to type. But if you Let me get Excel very quickly. We have a few tables here. We have the users table. And then we have down here, we have the friendships table. And then the columns in our user table is name, or let's say ID, name, email, password. So here I have ID 1, this is Dave. ID 2, this is John, right? The friendship, I have user ID and I have friend ID, right? So a friendship between Dave and John is then this is your user.friendship, so Dave friendships, right? This will just be, now there's John. If you say a user ID is 2 and the friend ID is 1, that will go to John's friendship. Okay? John's friendship. This is now Dave, right? And this is here. Okay? Down here. Why? The people in here are the people in the friends table. This is connect back. So now if you have Carol, and then who has more friends? Dave, because in here I will have this as John and Carol. Does that make sense? Now, if you want, this is friendships, but actually this I should name this as friends. And how do I do this? That's what I'm going to define next. How do you find the list of friends that Dave has? You look into the friends table. You look into all the guys with the user 1. And then you look at the friend ID. And you see this friend's ID and you look at the 2 guys with the user with the ID 2 and 3. Okay? Alright, let's try if you can remember what I just said. Friends. I'm going to implement this method a.friends, and I need to see something in there. First it's in an array, right? Yeah? So my list of friends probably results, maybe my friends, I have nothing, right? Zeros. I'm gonna go and find my friends. So I go into my friendships. Yeah? Each do. This is my friendship, right? Alright, what else do I do in here? I already know this friendship comes from me. I know it's like, if you write test here, it's like assert equal fs.user is a. These guys are the same. Yeah? You better understand this, because if not, you're in trouble. A.friendships, right? Assert equal, right? I mean, understand that f.user is the same as a. That's all I'm asking. So, who's my friend? No problem. I get this friend to be fs dot. Huh? Fs dot. All. I'm looking at this guy. So I'm going to add 2 more columns, alright? So this column will be Dave, John, Dave. And this friend column will be what's that? John, Dave, Carol. Do you understand this part? This isn't, this is finding this ID from the previous user table. Okay, so this is friend, guys. This is friend. So you need to do fs dot. Oh, come on, serious. Let's stay more awake. This. Huh? User table. Yeah, user table. Yes, correct. fs.friend, because it's defined, this friendship belongs to the friend here. It means you get the ID, friend ID here, and you find it from the user. This is the same as calling user.find fs.friend ID. I'm writing this in the most English way possible, and then I will show you the faster way. Okay. Let's write it in English. Go look at all my friendships, right? Right? Look at each of them. So go look at each of my friendship and get the name of the friend. That's it. It's like that's English. What is the Ruby version? Friendship.each. But I get the ID here. It's more like you just say get the ID of friend. So we get friend ID. Then look up in user table, right? For that friend. Right? For the one with the ID equals to friend ID. That's how I get my friends. Yes or no?
Why are we using A? dot?
Yeah, seriously. Thank you. Need people to be more awake to catch more mistakes. Anything else? A, I was using A because this is the guy A, but up here it's yourself. It's not A. I'm practicing the next. This is important. All right. If you're not nodding your head, you have to repeat this week. Okay. What else? I have this. I'm gonna test. Okay. Reload. A is user.first. That guy Gene, right? And then A.friendships. We already know how many of them are there in there. We only have one person there, which is the FV person. But now A.friends is an array, and it's an array of users. Okay? Just know that you cannot call A.users because that's just weird. Right? You're checking for your friends. Okay?
So now if you want to display like how many friends he has, we can do A.friends.count.
That's right. A.friends.count. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Who knows how to not use a variable and display it with map? We change the map. Man, that is very hard, right? So who can make it even shorter than this? I already showed you guys this is the same as friendship.friend. Right? And then you're like, okay, should be one line. That's a shorter version. Of course, you can even do it the one line shorter version, but you don't need to do it this way yet. That's a shorter version.
What does AND stand for?
What's that?
AND symbol.
It's the pretzel, right? Well, it just means that doing this is the same as this. It's a syntax. You take the object, you're applying what you call that into each element. So you get each element, you do the friend. That's a syntax. Okay? So keep it this way. But because you do this so much, because you do this so much, it's a lot of places. All these things can be in one line. Has many friends through friendships. That's it. So it's important for you guys to know. Let's go back, rewind history. What you do in your homework and what we learn in lecture is this, this whole thing. This is the long version. Okay? And this is the short version. How does it understand it? It will go into friendships and it will say, friendships, you need to also have many friends. So it's like, Oscar, you have many friends? I have many Oscar. That doesn't make sense, but let's say I have Oscar and I have many friends through Oscar. But the only reason I can have many friends through Oscar is because Oscar has many friends. Well, I just set myself up for trouble. But you're like, where's my has many friends? It's connecting. This guy is in the middle. Is connecting. So I'm sorry. I just say that that's a different scenario. But here, in each friendship, you connect it to a friend. So when you write again, if you don't understand this, go and look at this method.
This has many. It automatically knows to look by friend ID.
Yeah, when you do has many friends here, it will look into friendship. It look for that this relationship belongs to. So it understand belongs to.
Yeah, and the way it's connected is through ID. So
Yeah.
belongs to is
Let me
ID.
see actually if it works or not. I just made shit up. So let's see. It may actually not work. All right. A user A.friends. Oh, it works. Let's see how it works. Basically, it joined the table friendships and user, and then it tried to find the rows with the user ID is my current user. So when I say Dave.friends now, it will say, okay, you have this ID. So I'm going to the friendships table and find the user ID there, like I find these two rows, right? And then I get the friend ID here because you're asking me has many friends. You don't stop at friendships. You ask has many friends. So then I go here and I make sure I get these friends out for you. So 2 is John, 3 is Carol. To do this, you need to have many friendships up there. Alright? And then through the friendship, this is that. So I have many friendships. But in each friendship, there's a friend. Therefore, I can have many friends. Right? It's because in each friendship here, remember, for any friendship, you do dot each here. For any friendship, you can do dot friend. So why not? When I have many friendships, then I should get a list of friends. Did I type friends correctly? No. God.
It's such a different way we look at it.
Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah, I've got the same thing.
It looks.
Just keep looking at it so it's such a different way.
I think we're all like just super tired for some reason. I look at you guys, like you guys look so sleepy, I get sleepy. So try to pretend you're not sleepy. This case, each friendship has a friend there, and then does that make sense, guys?
Can I look at the use Excel?
This is friendship because this happened because of this belongs to. This happens because this, huh? And then me can have many friendships. That's because of this line. Alright, I have many friendships. Okay? But each friendship has a friend. Belongs to a friend. Belongs to means it's only one there. So I should be able to have many friends. Alright, do you ask for the Excel?
Okay.
Are you trying to explain?
Now, I'm gonna just like think about how I look at it.
Sounds good, sounds good.
Okay, so each has many friends through friendships, right? So I think what you're trying to say was that like we can just say, look, the user has many friends through friendships, right? So Dave, we just look at the friendships, and then where the user ID matches Dave's ID, you just grab the friend right there, right? That's how I look at it.
Yeah. But if you look at the database level, you can only grab a friend ID.
Can you show the ERD?
Alright, let's get ERD. ERD will be like, what the hell are you writing up there?
Friend ID, user
It doesn't really tell you the friend thing here. It's not smart enough. But there's this dot. It's like, hopefully it gives a little hint. This is not designed to be, correct teaching tool. Just some extra thing for us to visualize.
So I have
This arrow means user has many users, but you don't call them users. You call them friend. Okay. Guys, I think there is a problem with you guys looking so quiet and dead is because we go too slowly. So I'm gonna go faster. Because like normally we cannot go this slow. That's ridiculous. So please stop me if you are unsure, happy to slow down. But when I slow down, I don't see any response. So this user now, how many friends do we have? How many? 1. And here's the magic. Because you use this magic, you can now add a friend like this. Okay, mind blown, right? I have a third user, and don't ask me why you have first, second, third, fourth. It's kind of fun to have, I guess. So now you have 2 friends. It just does all the magic work for you. Okay? And please have the explanation. Please have their flexibility to just define more methods. For example, if I want friend names here, like I want the names of my friends. You guys by now should be, I expect that you should be enough to just do things like that. Okay, so it's easy to test if you like. So reload, A is the first person, and then A the friend names. Okay? Of course, you may or may not need this method, but this is an idea that often you need to input more of these useful methods into your model so that in the view it's easier to work with. Don't do like the friendship.each and then .friendship.name. No, right? Okay, let's put it on the browser. This is the moment we're all waiting for. Alright, so I will run the terminal to run the Rails server. And let's look at the routes what we have so far. I need a view to see my friendships. What should I have there? Like what page should I use? What URL should I do? Huh? Are you sure? You sure? Maybe we'll start user first. Not a bad idea. So user. Now these are the girls and the guys, I guess. And I use a default image here if there's just no image. I use Lottom Pixel. The way I do it is similar to what Charles explained. If you don't have an image URL, I just display something else. Then that way, I always have this field that's an image. And in the view, user index page, I do image tag, user URL or default. You see, there's no need to just use this. You can define your own method. Okay, thanks for nodding your head. And now, I need to input here add friend or not friend, right? Or unfriend. That's pretty cool. That would be cool if it works. So let's make it work here. I have a second column maybe. So let's say this is my head. T head. This is practicing some HTML here. That's one row. And in this row, I'm going to have th. So here will be this will be avatar, right? And this will be maybe some action. Maybe just do actions afterwards. But here we'll have email and name, right? Just practicing. And I need the action here. All right. So in this action, I have add friend. Oh, this looks like the Facebook page now, right? and here maybe remove. Is it okay?
We need to reorder them.
Looks pretty good. Well, I do need, they sort of have to be in a, yeah, so Oscar, you saying?
No, I was.
Is it better? Alright. It's not working. Maybe class button is danger, right? It's time to learn Boomer. Alright, is primary is danger. Do you ever see add friend and remove friend both? No, so how do we do it?
If friends. I mean, if friendship, if friends.
Alright, so we need something here. If user dot, oh shit, what? Now you need to know who this current user is, and also you need to know this is the user you're displaying, and need to know who's logged in.
So we need to.
This page should not display for those who are not logged in, right? So make sure you protect this page. So I'm gonna just say if current user, right? I'm gonna display the current user here just for now, okay? Just display it, dot name. Now it will crash. So in your lab, you will want to do controller, you want to do the require user thing. So you say, I'll let you do that part. You say, you know, if it's not user, then redirect to the home page. I'll let you build that method. So actually, let's just build it. If you guys remember, then application controller. How do I go to application controller? I don't have an application controller in this project. It's here. Alright, so there's one method here called require login. And it say if, no, unless current user, then I'll just redirect to root path, alert flash, error, access denied. Alright? Are we good? So there's a helper method in application controller you can use everywhere. And now in this you can say before action, what is it, fool? You did this already. You can call that action there. Right? Require login, right? Was it require user? I call it require login, right? But then you don't want it to be before every action, so you only say only index. Thank you guys. So now this page, if you load, it will say access denied. Very good. So let's log in. Alright, I am logged in. So now I should be able to see my users page. So now I am test. So what I want to do is to check here if current user, this no longer crashes because it's it's always there. Dot what now? Friends, you could say this. That will read like English, right? Well, you can also say is friend with this user. Then you do remove friend. If not, then you do add friend. Is that okay? So if I save it, would it work? Why not?
We haven't defined this.
Yes, thank you. Rails doesn't give you that magic, okay? You have to create the magic yourself. Is friend. It take another user. Sounds good? So how do we check? This is the beautiful part for us to think as well. How do you check, guys? Alright, I'm going to ask you, is John a friend of Carol?
No.
How do you know?
Because their user friendship ID.
Can you speak louder, please?
Because the user ID and friendship ID doesn't match up.
Doesn't match up. So what do you mean? User ID and...
So under the friendship,
Okay.
John and Carol are
Okay.
friends.
So my question should be like, is Carol John's friend? And you say no, because when I look into the friendship table, I see John here, but I don't see Carol here. When is Carol's John's friend? You get that. Okay, Fu is John Carol's friend. Is John Carol's friend? Yes or no? No, why? Because Carol's friend, so I need to look at Carol's friend. So first I have to check where is Carol. Oh my god, I don't see it. So Carol has no friends. So done. How do I make John Carol's friend?
User ID.
I add Carol here and there. So here, I told you guys you can just do this. That is the Ruby way. But it loads all your friends and then it will just check that. That will work. Here's another way. Let's look at friendship. And let's look at the user is myself and the friend is this another user. If you call this and there's nothing, then there's no friendship.
So it's gonna return false.
No, this return result, so it's empty or something. So here you can say if this is empty or not. Huh? Yes, so this is a database query. In fact, you can actually say exist. Or you can just say first, and then it's trying to get the first one, and obviously if the first one doesn't exist, then it's nil. So in this case, it's not friend, right? If this is nil, they're not friends. Is that clear? So you could actually do .nil here. Better, not better, right now both of them are fine. This way is, if you don't have any caching, this way is the fastest. But if you have caching, then the earlier way is faster because I already have friends inside. It's already loaded. Why do I need to look at the database? But if I haven't loaded the database, then the friends have to be loaded. Then I will have to look at this really long table. Okay? So I'm just showing you different ways and you can choose a way to write it to suit yourself for now. Look at this way. You can do it the friendships way. Friendships. We're learning the where query here. Where. This is self.friendship already. So in where here, you just need to say friend is another user. Yeah? And then dot first. So if dot first is not nil, then that's enough. This line will return a value instead of nil, and you know for sure this is a friend. Right? So this could be one. This is good. The database way. The non-database ways is friends include. Okay? Another user. And this one require the user's friends, which is a different method here. So it's a bit longer, right? If you think about friends will look into friendships and read them all out and then check the user. Alright, which one do you want me to keep? Do you want this one because it reads more like English? Do you want this one reads more like raw, like just cool? So you can say dot first or dot exists. All right. Okay, so maybe I'll just do this one. True or false? All right, let's test. Add friend. Very good. So let's add this friend. Okay. Now I want to test that first by going into the terminal and I'm going to add friend. So in this case, A is going to get my test user here. And I'm going to add the first user there, okay? A dot, I don't have an add friend. Add friend is this, right? Let's not use that. Let's create an add friend method ourselves. So you can see that you start to define your own API. Add friend, another user. How do you add this person as friend? Like that. This is the magic way. What's the less magic way? Let's less. Thank you very much. Thank you. Create friend another user. This is less magic. What's another less magic? Right? Friendship dot create user is myself. Friend is another user. Okay. What is a less magic way? User ID is my own ID and friend ID is another user.id. Do you guys see how these are different layers that you can use? This way is alright, it's good, but it's a lot more typing. So people say, I don't want to type ID. Let me just type by, you already have the reader and the writer for user and friend. So I use this one. But then like, I don't want to type, this self thing. I like to use the friendship for me so it gets shorter, right? And then when you do this, but you already has many friends through friendships, then you might as well do that. Cool? And it auto-save. So this is a bit dangerous. I don't want to give it to the user in the console. I like to write this add friend, and I like to be able to go to user test here, and I can test add friend should work. And then in here, I will create the first user, right? And then I create the second user, and then I say a.addFriend. You see how testing is so simple now? And then I will say assert equal. A list of B will be my a.friends. That's pretty neat. And of course now if you really want it, maybe I can even do this now. Email. This will become a valid test, no? Is that it? Password. ASDF. So let's say B is this. Changes to B. B, that's it. And guarantee this is a pass test. It's much better. I have an add friend method. Sounds good? Now I need a controller to add friend. Where should this button go, my friends? I click right now, it doesn't go anywhere. Slash. You creating a friendship. Awesome. You're creating a friendship. So it means in my user's index page here, you're creating, it's not a link to anymore. It's a form. What form is it? Form for? What form for? So let's say if it's a friendship.new, right? That's a form for friendship. But here you actually say form for a friendship for this user. Is that good? Dot, instead of new, is just build. Okay? And in here, I already have user ID, by the way, because I call current user a friendship. I'm going to keep it for now. This is not the best practice yet, but hidden field user ID. So this will keep the user ID for me to submit in a form. And I need another thing, hidden field. Funnily, it's a form. Hidden field is what? Friend ID, come on, yes? What is my friend ID? That user up here, see that? So you could pass in the value user.id, or you just give it inside this object itself. Yeah? User, no, friend is user. So that you have this object that has the information you need. It's just not saved yet. So I need to create this button. Okay? So now this button will be button dot button. This is add friend. Sounds good? Maybe that is primary here. Alright, so what's going on there? Did we forget form for without an N? Well, now you guys can catch it quite fast. Friendships path. When you give these guys, give it a friendship object. Form will try to go to the friendships path. It means in the route you need to do resources, friendships. Okay? So then you go here.
If we try to write it ourselves, we would do what? Post friendships?
Yes, we will do that very soon. Yes, if you try to do it yourself, you will write post friendships here. Go to
Friendships create.
exactly. This line is the same as 7 lines of this. One line will be get. This will be index. You guys already know this, right? And then you have another, let's say, show action, which is friendship ID. Let's go to show. And that will go to params ID, etc. 7 of them. Alright. Now we should also do it ourselves the simpler way. I'll show you guys soon. So when I add friend, it will go to friendships controller, what action? Create action. So I need to create the Rails generate controller friendships. We good there? And let's do the friendships controller. Def create. Now what do we do normally?
Params.
We so suspicious. Why are you smiling? Why is it not working? Undefined is constant. I think you might have to restart the server. Did I type it wrong, guys? Friendships? Friendships? Alright. You just... Oh, that's not good. Not good. Eh? It goes to create, but it doesn't do anything. So, I need to do something here. I'm just gonna crash. Alright. Alright. So now you look at the friendship table here. So the friendship params. As usual, params friendship will give you a hash-like structure. But do you see the thing over here? Louis, do you see permitted false? Do you know how to, normally, how do we get the params here to pass into a model? Require what? Friendship. Alright, and after that? After that, we permit. What do we permit? Huh?
User ID, friend ID.
User ID and okay, so now do you see that this is permitted true? So now this can be passed into your friendship.create. Otherwise it's not permitted, okay? It's just a special hash. It to prevent you from making mistakes that we explained before. So friendship params, the way we do it here will be params dot require friendship dot. Do we need another dot?
Yeah.
It just looked weird now. I typed too much in it. So how do you create a friendship? What? Friend.
Params.
And that's it. Create it. It'll crash if it doesn't. Redirect to, let's say, user path. Alright? So go back here, add friend. Add friend. Does that work okay? So that's quite nice. I will show you the security problem with this one very soon. So remind me. I'll get back to that. Basically, you can go here and probably, change some ID and you can submit. Yeah.
How does it know which argument goes first? If you put it backwards, like if you put friend ID and then user ID on permit, it would still work.
Yeah, because it's a hash.
Oh,
Those are the keys, right?
Yeah, this is just a key. So this is the list of keys. No, still very good question though. So this take a bunch of arguments, but you just pass in the it's a keys that the hash will allow.
I get that, but I mean like even when we friendship create right there, right? We don't say hey which key goes with which column. Right?
Where? Here?
Yeah.
In here you will have user ID with a value. So user ID is already the key. Will go to user ID in a friendship. You see friend ID, or go to user friend ID in the friendship. It's a hash.
I thought right there, that command right there, that was based off of what we called it in the view. So if we call it, like, let's just say A in the view and then B, right? And then we said A and B right here commit, would it still work?
A and B in the view. There's no order in here. It's a hash. So user ID is 1, friendship ID, friend ID is 2, and then this is just added to the friendship create.
Can you show me the button? Show me the button. Well, on the code.
Okay. Do you want the button in the code?
Okay, so if we change user underscore ID right there to line 21.
You want to move them around?
No, I want to change what it's called entirely. Instead of user ID, let's just call it.
Okay, so you're not asking about the order anymore.
That's exactly what I was trying to say. Like this has to be ordered, right?
Huh? Why is it an order? So you say line 21? Yes, tell me.
Okay, so line 21, right? If we change that to A.
To A?
So instead of colon on user ID, we change it to A, right? Then we go back to the friendship controller. So now user underscore ID is going to be A, right?
No.
It would still be,
It's not permitted. This is not permitted. It's completely ignored because it's not one of these two keys.
well, that's what I'm trying to say. We'd have to change it. Dot permit user underscore ID. We'd have to change that to A.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now how does it know which where does A go? Is it the user?
It will just crash and say cannot do friendship.A. There's no A attribute.
Okay, okay.
Do we get this one? That's a very good point. So if you give it a wrong column name, again, it's the point of convention. We take it all the way from here until here and here. We all use the same name so that our life is easier. We don't call this like, we don't do this like, ID user, right? And then go in here and then like, okay, permit ID user, and then go in there, you have to, then you cannot do this anymore. You have to fix that hash into something that looks like this.
So it doesn't know what ID user is, right?
Yeah, completely different, right? Then there's no way it will be able to know. Does that make sense? And the order of this guy, user ID first or friend ID first, is completely irrelevant.
I get that.
And then it's completely irrelevant in here as well, because you just get a hash, and the order in the hash is not important. Yeah? Okay, however, let's look at this guy. What if this girl, right? What's her ID? I think 1, 2, 3. I believe that's her ID, right? So let's look at this form. Let's look at this form. It's not 3 at all. Her user ID is 21. No, actually my user ID is 21. Her user ID is 18. Right?
So when you use a hit them, it's still available.
When you use what?
It's a hit them, and the one is still available.
It will submit. Hidden here is that the user will not, but it will submit. So maybe after today you feel inspired to hack a few websites. So if I look at the next girl, right? The next one here. What is her ID? 19. You see that? So what if I go to the previous one and it changes to 19? Okay? So when I add this friend, did I click add? I did not. Let's try again. Click add. Do you see? Nothing happens here. I accidentally add someone else. So let's say if you want to buy ticket on a website and then there's a VIP ticket and there's a normal ticket, you're paying for the normal ticket but you change the hidden ID somewhere and then you actually can get the expensive one. So last time I went from New York to Boston, I was on a ticket booking site and say it's full. You cannot buy it anymore because it's a few more hours, and there was no electricity in Boston. So like the whole storm thing. So we it's crazy. If you don't get the bus ticket, you can't get out. Like I would be delayed. So so I basically just go and change a few ID in there so that just what is that thing? I'm going to insert my ticket into that system. You could actually change the price. It was so badly written, so I changed only like I did not want to make it suspicious, so I don't change the price, but I changed the. Imagine you can actually pay and say I pay $1 and then go through.
It's really that simple.
That's the thing. You should not write websites like this, right? So
This only come to the ratio.
there are a lot of checks you have to do. For example, in this case it's okay. I only changed this. I show you this because it's easy to test. I only changed the friend ID. If I change the user ID, it means I'm logged in as Harley, but I can create a fake friendship between Ian and Fu. I just changed my user ID to Ian, and then when I add Fu as a friend, Ian and Fu become friends, right? That's quite a nice job to have. So the way to do it here, you can check. How can you check it? For example, you say friendship params. User ID here, it has to be the same as current user ID. Alright? That's good enough for this check, really. Any other thing here, I add different, it's okay. You could have added this friend by clicking add friend here anyway.
I have a question here. Well, if it is like confidential to ID, whether we change it, encrypt it to something else.
It's possible to encrypt that, yeah. So this is to protect the field.
Any kinds of ID or name, something like that.
Sometimes you need the input though, right? What is important here? The friend ID is important. The user can click another friend ID and that's okay. The user ID is not needed here. Why do you need the user ID? So the user can change it.
User ID will become random.
No, why do you make it random?
Let's just encrypt it. He said,
And if you encrypt it, I use the same encrypt key again in a different form, it will work. My point here is, you cannot just have a different user ID each time, right? Even if you encrypt is not 21, if you make it ABCD XXX, I just copy that user ID and it's harder to guess. But if I can find your user ID from something else, I can still do it. My point here is your form here, guys, your form here is not really needed. I don't need user ID in here. Don't even put it in there because if you put here, someone else might be able to put, right? Because you can always know the current user anyway. So I get rid of it. Now for your work, you don't have to, it's okay. But start to have this habit and know about it. Okay, so now when I submit this, when you do friendship controller, it will crash. Am I right? Why does it crash? I'm gonna try adding a friend here. User must exist. So you can fix this easily by doing current user dot friendships dot create. That's it. So you create a friendship with this current user.
And the permit on the
Thank you very much. That's something you have to do. You take it out. You don't want someone to overwrite your friendship with a different user because you're only handling the current user's friendship. Therefore, you submit again. This time, it will work. Uh-oh. Try again. Okay, that works. All right? Does that make sense? So, removing friendship is a little trickier. Well, it's not that tricky, but you do have to check. So let's do it right now so we can get this over with. You see this form, there's only one field. It's possible to create just one link. So you don't need the whole form, but let's just keep the form here. It looks very clean. I'm going to implement the remove friend logic with a link. A link, not a form. Because why? It's quite simple. It's just a link, really. Remove friend. Let's say I go to here. Remove. Why not, remove friend path. And I pass in the user ID. Not bad. No, not user ID. What is it? Friend ID. Oh, that's tricky. That's tricky. Oh yeah, so this is the ID. I need to remove this, right?
Can you change to another user or something like that?
So you can change to another user. You just click a different button. These are the things I do not prevent you from hacking. You
You change the user, the variable user to another user, so it's
okay. Thank you. You can call this user to another user. So let's change all the user thing to another user. All right. Oh well, actually, all the current another user is now messed up. So let's revert that. Let's change that again. Anything that is not that is start with user,
that's reject.
another user. All right. So you can remove friends, but now let's remove it. This is the I need a route for this. I need a route for this remove friend because right now it doesn't know the remove friend path. Can someone help me with the routes? Okay. Where should it go?
Actions as well.
I think you guys are getting a hang of it. It's pretty awesome. Now, here is a little bit of a difference. What are you passing to friendship destroy though? You know? So it's a bit tricky because you're passing. Okay, fine. You know, remove friend here should be a post, right? You can actually make it a delete. That's fine. But you're passing a user ID. So your friendship destroy is not really normally in friendship controller. You want to use friendship ID. Fine. Let's just note. You know, we're not using friendship ID here. Okay. What are we using in here? We're using the user ID. But if you pass the user ID, one way is to say user ID is like this. Let's do that, yeah? I think that's fine. Make it very clear. All right, that is the user ID. So this is your another user, which is user.find. Okay? And my current user, friends, I minus that, right? And that's it. That's done. So of course you can probably guess, and you know, it's deleting this, and then done.
You need to handle the two-way relationship.
What's that?
You need to handle the two-way relationship.
No, let's just do one way. Right? So here, remove friend. No route still. Why? Oh, it's a get method. So we need to change it to. Sorry. How do I turn this off? Alright, so I change this. Rails give you this for free, ladies and gentlemen. Method delete. Okay? Alright. Oh, it's not working.
I had that yesterday.
You guys had it yesterday? Didn't work?
Yeah, in the end we just had it as a focus.
Why don't I have application.js? Where's my assets? Oh my god, I don't have application.js. It's because when you do -j, I think it just turned off .js. So you need this file, and you need this file to be included in your layout. Here, where's your layout? Style sheet link. Wow, there's no. How do you do that scripting again? Script. Let's look at an old source. Let's look at an existing Rails app that has that. We did not include any JavaScript at all, so let's look at any other previous application we had. Someone help me. Tell me what to include. Yeah. And I hope this is. Come on, so we can get the break. Oh my god! All the recent one I had all without JavaScript. So maybe go into the first practice app here. Oh, here. Fabulous. So look at another Rails app. This is the one with CoffeeScript. So unfortunately, if you do -J, it turns off JavaScript. I need to include this. Require Rails UJS, and let's just do this as well. Turbo links for both. So I'm doing that for application JS here. All right. Is that okay? So that's application JS. Require tree means you require all the other files. I don't like automatically requiring everything, but for now, all of these other JavaScript files are empty anyway. Then I also need to tell the Rails layout to use it. This is the line. JavaScript include tag. You do have to include one more thing, which is the turbo link stuff. You can turn off turbo link if you like, but when you turn on, it's just your page is a lot faster. So, are we clear there? JavaScript.
What is turbolinks?
Turbolinks is a way that Rails does to cache the head of your document. So every time you visit a different page, it just changed only the body of your document, making your page a lot faster to load. That's why it's important to keep the stuff in your head rather the same. So imagine without Turbolink, you have to load this page, load the application.css file again, load this again, and then it's just the whole route. But if you have Turbolinks, all of this is cached, so it just switch in and out some of the elements of the page. So it feels similar to Ajax already. It feels like super fast. All right. So I need to restart the server because, oh my god, I need Turbolinks gem, Rails Turbolink or something. So let's just remove Turbolinks for now. I should just include it. Gem file, where's Turbolinks? Here, right? You can read here, make navigating your page faster. So I copy this line, go to gem file, and include that. And I'm going to bundle install. Sorry guys, we got a long break. Alright, let's try. Let's actually submit a get request, yeah? No, a delete request.
There we go.
It works. To prove it to you, I turn on preserve lock here. Oh wow. And then it does it here. Navigate to. Now it's just another HTTP request. Okay? Remove friend and add friend, it's just another HTTP request.
So
one is get and one is delete.
So how come it needs JavaScript?
Because a link cannot submit a post request.
So because it's not a form.
Yeah. So when you click delete here, it convert. So you click here, it will convert and send a post request. But a post request with the extra information that say I'm not just a post, I'm a delete. Anything that's non-get, I'm the post, but I have post and delete here, right? So then Rails automatically handle it as a delete request and parse everything for you. And normally in these things like delete, post, you tend to redirect. So after you delete, there's nothing to display, right? Start here. Get back here. We finish deleting and adding friend for this one person. Right now, this is just for you, so you can, yeah. So it's quite similar to Twitter, following and followers. So in this case, I'm following people. It's okay. Like later, you start one thing at a time. On the other side, you can display the views that people who friended you.
But if I use Twitter way, and why do I need the second relationship? Just one send a message.
It's not, Twitter is not for you to send messages. It's to, when you follow someone, the things people say will display on your feed. People follow you will see your messages. I think direct message you can send to anyone here, but I may be wrong. I think you have to be both following each other to be able to send direct messages. They don't want you to spam. Okay, enjoy your lunch. When you're back, you do the you start with my starter code, so to save some of your time. You don't have to do the user authentication again.